Oh, it's the circus again. And Candy Flossing. Oh, it's Wayne on the trapeze. Wow, and he's a lion, and he's quite hungry. And, oh no, Wayne, he's holding his chest. What's going on? He's gonna fall. Get trampoline ready, guys. Quick.
Ah!
Oh dear. Right, I'm gonna go worried. The lion looks worried, not hungry. You alright? Are you alright?
Oh, the lion's never hungry. I got angina from up there. I don't know what happened.
Are you alright? Are you right now?
I think I'm fine, Trude. It's just...
Angina?
Remember, that was chest pain.
Yeah. Oh, from high blood pressure.
Yeah.
I don't think you have any of the risk factors.
No. Let's go through
Let's
them.
go through them. So,
Inactivity. I'm plenty actiful.
yeah, you're flying out up there. You overweight? I think you're
I
fine.
wouldn't say so.
No.
My family don't have a history of this sort of thing.
Is there too much salt in your diet?
No, it's not too much salt. I know that's a factor. I'm sure there's a fifth.
There is. Stress.
Oh, it could
be too stressed.
It's very high up there, and there's revision videos to make, and there's a lion over there.
And there's a lion.
exams.
He's definitely.
There's a big audience.
And the dog keeps looking at you funny.
But don't offend the audience like that.
I'm sorry. But it's alright, Wayne. Just gotta keep calm.
Okay.
Right, so there's some of the risk factors for CVD.
He can't talk, and I'm the one with the chest pain.
Yeah.
So we're on topic 2.4.
I got to remember that we went ahead of the book. So that's actually went 3 for them. Yeah.
Topic 2.4 for us.
It starts off with lots of talking about studies, but you can just read that. It's not very
That's
complicated.
not above GCSE level.
No.
There's a few words you might need to know in there, such as reliability,
Yeah.
validity.
Yeah.
And what do these refer to, Triv?
Well, reliability often refers to repeats of your tests.
The more you repeat a test, the more reliable the data will be, because you'll have more to compare.
And valid sort of makes sense, I guess.
Yeah, it's to do with fair testing and
Yeah.
keeping everything equal. Because if you do repeat the test, and it's to do with something to do with temperature, and this one, the temperature's all over the place. It's not very valid
not very good.
experiment.
Like if I test how good at someone doing a maze in the dark, I use Wayne, but all the lights are on.
That's rubbish. It's
That's-
not valid
that's
at
not
all.
valid at all.
You have to control the light in that particular example.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
Stuff like that. So that's what that bit's about. So just to cover the risk factors of CVD and CHD, there's a few ways you can test for them.
There's something called a sphygmomanometer, which is
Yeah.
quite a big word.
It's quite a big word. I think you have to know how to spell it as well.
I think you do. I've got a pen in here. Yes.
You've got a pen?
I'll do it in blue actually.
Alright.
So,
Sphig.
is like that.
Yeah.
Sphygmomanometer.
Yeah, it's a really, really mean word.
It is.
A bit like atherosclerosis. You're just going to have to learn that one. What is it for though? What's that thing?
Well, it goes on your arm or on your wrist and something like that. You can get ones that go around your finger that are really fancy. But basically, it measures your systole and your diastole pressure.
Yeah.
Called your systolic and diastolic pressure.
Yeah, it's your blood pressure. So it has a value, it'll have a value at the top and it'll have a value at the bottom. The top will be to do with your systolic value when you're... That's what I'm looking for.
When your heart's contracted, when it's under the
Contracting.
maximum pressure. So this will be higher.
Yeah, and then you've got your resting pressure,
Yeah.
and your heart's relaxing, that'd be diastole, that's why it's diastolic, and that's going to be lower.
Remember, just because the heart relaxes, the blood is still under pressure, it's just not being pumped, so that's why you still get a value.
Yeah.
And I've drawn here the typical value. Some people
Yeah.
are above it and it's not an issue, some people are below and it's not. But if you go too much above,
It can cause
causes
problems.
issues.
That's when the high blood pressure starts causing atherosclerosis and angina.
So we've spoke about these two things already in previous clips. Is there any more problems to do with high blood pressure?
I think there is. You can get something called an oedema.
Which is spelt, again, a spelling you have to
Funny
know.
spelling. O-E-dema. I think it is that, yeah.
Oedema.
Yeah, oedema. Oh, edema. However you want to remember it, whatever works. And that's high upbuilding of water in your tissue fluid.
It's quite common in people's feet. It can happen anywhere, but it's quite common in people's feet.
Yeah, because that's quite low down, it's quite hard to put it all the way up. So, well, why does it happen?
Well, if your blood's under too high a pressure when it gets to the capillaries, not enough water can diffuse out of the cells, essentially.
Yeah.
So the water stays in there and builds up over time when it's being supplied via osmosis, but it can't get out as easily because of the fast-moving stuff.
Yeah, it sort of all goes into the tissue fluid and then doesn't get back into the capillaries to go away, or lymphatic vessels. So it's also about the lymphatic system, which is something you know a little bit about. So you have capillaries, and when you're under high blood pressure, you've got to know a few values. Generally, there's a lot of net movement out of water. The osmosis moving in isn't very high, and the pressure of the tissue fluid is quite low. That generally happens with high blood pressure, and this is why edemas happen, because loads of water gets pushed into tissue fluid and then can't be got rid of. In low blood pressure, the other way around happens. Makes sense. And lymphatic vessels sort of take water away from the areas where you might have swelling or whatever, and to a thoracic valve, it's called, in your neck. Lymphatic duct, sorry.
Yeah.
And that's the need to know for that.
So I've just drawn the water ones just to indicate big arrow, lots goes out, little arrow, not as much comes back in, which is where the problems cause. There's other stuff, not just water.
Yeah.
There's diffusion and all that happens at the capillaries.
So they make quite a big difference.
Yeah. And that's another thing you need to know that's
Yeah.
affected by high blood pressure.
It doesn't come up very often, that's why we mentioned it quite briefly.
Yeah.
It makes sense, just, yeah. You can read over that. And I think that brings us up to...
Sugars next.
Yeah, stuff that if you eat or your diet can affect stuff. So we should get onto that.
Get onto that right now.
Alright, let's crack on.
I need to talk to that guy about that bloody lion.
I know, he's getting on like some sort of cage, he's gonna eat someone.